Listen closely. Story explorers. A mighty lion has a big problem with a tiny mouse, and only a special cat can help. But what happens next in The Lion, the Mouse, and the Cat's lesson will totally surprise you.
High on the majestic Mount Arbuda, where ancient trees touched the sky, lived Mahavikrama, a magnificent lion with a golden mane that gleamed like the morning sun. His deep amber eyes missed nothing, and his powerful, muscular body was a sight to behold. Yet, a tiny brown mouse with bright, beady black eyes and twitchy whiskers, no bigger than an adult's thumb, dared to disturb his kingly peace. Day after day, as the enormous Mahavikrama slept soundly in his cozy mountain lair, this mischievous little creature would sneakily nibble at the delicate ends of his glorious mane. The lion's sleep was often interrupted by the tiny tugs, and a rumble of frustration would stir deep within his chest. He would wake up feeling annoyed, his golden whiskers twitching with irritation at the unseen pest. Each time, Mahavikrama, the enormous lion, would stir and try to catch the minuscule nuisance, the nimble mouse, whose tiny paws moved like lightning, would dart away. With a swift flash, the tiny brown creature would disappear into the safety of its hidden hole, no bigger than a coin, a secret passage known only to itself. "Oh, what can I possibly do about this pesky problem?" The mighty lion, with his deep amber gaze, pondered aloud, his frustration growing. He knew he was the king of the jungle, a formidable hunter, but this opponent was simply too small, too fast for his massive paws. "This mouse is far too insignificant for someone of my immense strength to capture," he reasoned, a wise thought sparking in his mind. He continued, "When an adversary is too tiny to be overcome by sheer power, then a combatant of similar small stature must be cleverly employed." Having decided on his clever plan, the enormous Mahavikrama, feeling much lighter in spirit, made his way down from his royal mountain lair towards a bustling nearby village. His powerful strides carried him quietly through the forest. There, in the heart of the village square, he spotted a sleek gray tabby cat with intelligent green eyes, about 1/10 the size of the lion, with soft paws and a long, swishing tail, named Dadikarna. The lion carefully approached the cat with a gentle roar, explaining his predicament and proposition. Dadikarna, quite surprised but sensing a good opportunity, agreed to help the majestic lion. Mahavikrama tenderly picked up the new protector and brought him back to his grand cave. Back in the huge mountain lair, Mahavikrama, the enormous golden-maned lion, made sure Dadikarna, the sleek gray tabby cat, felt right at home. The lion provided the cat with delicious bits of fresh meat, making sure Dadikarna's belly was always full and content. The clever cat, about 1/10 the size of the lion, with intelligent green eyes and soft paws, quickly understood his important duty and kept a watchful eye on the tiny mouse's hole. The tiny brown mouse, with bright, beady black eyes and twitchy whiskers, no bigger than an adult's thumb, was absolutely terrified of this new, furry guardian. From that day forward, the little nibbler stopped daring to venture out, preferring the bleak safety of its dark, cramped home. The enormous lion could finally sleep soundly and peacefully, his beautiful golden mane completely untouched. Whenever the lion's sensitive ears caught even the slightest rustle or faint squeak that suggested the mouse was still lurking nearby, he would generously reward Dadikarna with an extra, scrumptious ration of meat, ensuring the cat remained happy and motivated. Days turned into weeks, and the tiny brown mouse, with bright, beady black eyes and twitchy whiskers, no bigger than an adult's thumb, grew hungrier and hungrier in its dark, cramped hole. The gnawing emptiness in its stomach became an unbearable ache. It could bear it no longer, the brave little creature decided, even with the sleek, gray tabby cat, Dadikarna, standing guard outside. Mustering all its courage, the tiny mouse finally scurried out of its hiding spot, desperately searching for even a crumb of food. But Dadikarna, the cunning cat with intelligent green eyes, about 1/10 the size of the lion, with soft paws and a long, swishing tail, was ever vigilant. In a flash of quick paws and agile reflexes, the cat pounced. The little mouse, caught entirely by surprise, was quickly captured and, sadly, eaten. The enormous Mahavikrama, the magnificent golden-maned lion, woke up later that day, stretched languidly, and noticed a profound silence in his cave. He listened intently, but there was no longer any faint rustle or tiny squeak. The little mouse, with its bright, beady black eyes, was truly gone. With his problem now completely solved, the mighty lion had no further need for Dadikarna, the sleek gray tabby cat, whose intelligent green eyes now held a hopeful gaze. What started as a good friendship now faded. The lion, enormous and majestic, could no longer be bothered to look after the cat, which was about 1/10 his size. Slowly, Mahavikrama stopped providing those generous bits of fish and meat. Sadly, with no food forthcoming from his former master, the diligent Dadikarna, about 1/10 the size of the lion, grew thinner and weaker, and eventually the poor cat starved to death, alone in the king's grand cave. And so, Halafidesai children, this story teaches us a very important lesson about being useful and appreciated. A helper, just like Dadikarna the cat, should always try to make sure their master, like the mighty lion Mahavikrama, continues to have a reason to need them. If the master's problem is completely solved, and there's nothing left for the helper to do, the master might forget how valuable the helper truly is. It's important to remember that relationships work best when everyone feels needed and cared for. Always strive to be a thoughtful and valuable friend, making sure that your presence is cherished and your contributions are always visible and appreciated.
Ever dreamed of being the hero? Now you get to be the star. Your adventure starts at TalesMio. Visit talesmio.com now.